Sister, don't get tired.
Yeah,
Brother,
that's a
don't
good boy,
get
boy.
tired.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of the build series on this 71 Charger 383 wannabe. Yeah, it's not a Super Bee, it's a wannabe. This car was built with the 383, the console, the buckets, and it has something that the Super Bees didn't have: the cooler RT taillights. Last time you saw this car forced back to life. I didn't know if it was going to happen. I was really doubting if this engine was actually going to come back to life, but it did. We got this thing to fart, hiccup, burp, and stumble back to running condition to where it was idling, and it didn't even have any blow-by. Like, I seriously think we have a good racing engine now. One we can turn into a racing engine. It is, however, missing some components to make it a driver. Radiator, water pump housing. There's no fuel pump. Well, it has a fuel pump, but it's probably 54 years old and dead. We have no belts, no hoses. There's several things we need to do to make it towards a running, driving car, so then we can get our baseline. We're gonna take it out to the street spot outside town and get a baseline Draggy Pro so we know what we're starting with and what our end result will be, making this thing a budget performance 383 wannabe. Here is my artillery for today. I actually returned the Optima battery because, you know, I'm thinking budget here. Returned the Optima battery. Now that the engine runs and it doesn't need all that cranking power, and the Optima was $300, returned it, got a cheaper battery, and with the extra monies, we got belts, we got hoses, we got radiator flush, we got gaskets, we've got our fuel system, we got filter. These are the things that we're going to need to make this thing a running, driving car. Brake pedal, on the other hand, probably should see if there's even anything in the master cylinder. It's been probably many years since that thing. Oh, there is. There is fluid in there. What? It's not even all super rusty and dark. I bet one good kick would probably free up that master cylinder. And I got just a foot to do it. Well, it's still rock hard, but damn. You know what? It's gonna take both hands on the steering wheel for this one. It did free up a little bit, but it's not, it's only moving like a ½ inch. Bolt, can you spin the wheel? I'll go hit the brake pedal. No? All right, I'm gonna get the wheel spinning and then hit the brake pedal because I don't have anyone else here. So hopefully, okay. Yeah, there's no brakes. You can probably tell I'm a little bit more bundled up today. It's cold outside. It's like 50 degrees, 49 degrees. And to you, like Minnesotans or maniacs or New Yorkers, you're probably like, what a sissy. Which, I am. I don't like cold. And I don't like hardware that doesn't do what I tell it to do. Come on. There we go. Do. Look how grungy this thing is. As my mom would say, that's icky. Well, after sticking my finger in the hole, it's got plenty of push rod to run the fuel pump that we're going to put on this thing. And actually, I don't even think it's really worn. Like, the push rod, it's basically like another lifter that has a hole through the block that rides on a lobe on the cam. And the push rod can get worn, or the cam lobe could wear down. But on this one, obviously it is both fine. So 130,000 miles has been pretty gentle on the fuel pump on this thing. Put a little grease on the end and slap her back on in. We will officially have a fuel pump that works again. Fuel cell time. This is a cheap fuel cell. It was like 10 bucks. Way cheaper than a stock gas tank. So that's what I'm going to use. Budget build, budget gas tank. And since we're only going to be doing a quarter mile at a time, I guarantee you this engine is not going to suck 2 gallons down per pass. So we're going to be safe. Plus, it's on the far front side of the car because we're going to stick it in here, which is even safer than it being in the back until you rear end somebody. So we're going to drill this guy and make an outlet for our fuel pump. Let's see, where do I want to go? Extremely flammable. Never use gasoline to start fire. What do they think happens in the cylinders? Right there. Where's that damn Hawk Tui girl? Ah, here it goes. That's going to be a good spot for fuel lineage. Seriously, every time I want to work on this car, it rains. Now, granted, it's just a light sprinkle, but I don't know. Is there something wrong with this car? Are the rain gods just thinking it's going to instantly burst into flames every time I work on it? Properly grommeted and everything. We have a bona fide baseline fuel system. Now this fuel system won't be good once we throw some real power at it, but it's good enough to get our A test. There's supposed to be something big and bulky and heavy that goes right there. I have that big and bulky and heavy that went right there. Now this is not the one that's original to this car. This is actually off of my 69 RT Charger. The original one that was on this car was rusted out garbage, like just totally ungood. This one, the ports and everything are still good, and I know the water pump didn't leak, and so we're going to use this guy for our A test. For a badass B test later, we'll have an all aluminum setup, but for now, this, oh wait, I see a stain there. That's ungood. But you know what? It's going to work. It only has to work for a little bit. I could use that now. Yeah, right? Yeah, so incoming! Time to put the lower crank pulley on. And I had marked it because for some reason the Mopars, they like to put one offset bolt on it. So instead of putting it on and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, now I can just put it on, line up my marks, and bolt her down. Makes life simpler. And it goes right there. Less spinning. Oh yeah, you caught me without my torque wrench. Beep. Beep. All torque to spec. Oh yeah, we got to replace this. That's actually what the battery's supposed to sit on. That will be next. Now this was an AC car. We're not gonna put AC back on it because that is not budget performance orientated. We only want speed parts. And removing weight is the same thing as adding speed parts. So we want to keep that mentality. Problem though, without that big, ugly, honking cast iron AC compressor sitting right here, there's no way we're going to be able to drive the alternator. You see, without that big, ugly pulley right here, the belt used to come up, go around the AC, and then down to the alternator, and continue that same cycle thousands of times at a time. I knew that wasn't going to work, but I also knew I had extra pulleys. I just want to show you. When you are removing all that, well, now you need a deeper pulley that you can replace that one with. So then now what will actually drive the water pump and the alternator at the same time is the deeper pulley. I can eliminate this guy right here, which is also shedding more weight, performance mod, and simplify things by just using the alternator as my tension for the water pump pulley as well. Just kidding. These are actually authentic Mopar parts. I don't want to chuck this stuff. This stuff is actually sellable. See, when you're dealing with old cars and you're wanting to do some certain upgrades, there's things you can sell off the car that you are not personally going to use, that you can take that money and reinvest into your hot rod for speed parts. We're going to go ahead and skip some grooves on this one. 1, 2, 3 is new. I've been learning how to count all over again because I have a 2-year-old that I'm having to teach. So we're learning together. I swear I'm getting smarter by the day. Well, that's ungood. The pulley's hitting the bolts. Now, the proper way to address that issue would be to actually change the lower crank pulley to a non-AC crank pulley. So then I could actually put this guy on there. This guy is a larger diameter pulley that will clear those bolts right there. It'll actually go around them. But I am not wanting to give up, you know, my good non-AC pulleys on this car quite yet. I'm thinking if I use my brain power and I thin the head of the water pump bolts, and with proper shimming on the snout, it will work. Just kidding. I'm not that dumb. Ooh. Genius! I know. If you're like me, you have an assortment of incorrect belts you have bought over the years. One of those has got to work. I think I have my winner here. Let me check. Oh yes, with plenty of adjustment. Check it out. We have pulleys and it's far more attractive. All of that garbage is out of there. Now, if you remember, the California tweakers, assuming, had pried the radiator out of this thing, so we're going to have to massage it back in place. Perfect. Obviously, this is not going to support any kind of a battery anymore. Well, maybe some couple of AA's, but that is not going to start our big block. So I dug through my junk. I came up with this battery tray. This is not correct for the car because this is basically an E-body. B-body 71 chargers, the front clip is an E-body. So this is not going to work, but I can modify it. 2 bolt holes will line up. And if I just weld this to this bracket right here, then we will have enough battery supportage for all the horsepower that this thing is going to make. We're going to make it very simple. Well, that's going to support that guy in a 15-second car. You know what? I wonder what this thing is actually going to run. Now, this probably would have been a 15-second car. Stock, original, 1971. Maybe it was a 16-second car. Maybe it was a high 14. I don't know. But what I do know is that this 383 no longer makes the 300 horsepower that it supposedly made in 1971. I'm sure this thing is down, being completely clapped out, and all the mileage that is out on it. Plus, it still has the stock torque converter and who knows what rear gear. You know what? I don't know what rear gear it is. Maybe we should go take a peek at that. So I crawled under here a minute ago with my torch in hand and my wire brush, and I found the tag, the original tag that would tell you what rear gear is in this car. Bam! This right here, 3.23. It is in fact a 323 open diff rear end, and the reason I know that is I spun one tire forward and the other tire spun backwards, which means the spider gears were working and rotating the tire the other direction from the other side. Well, back to the engine bay. Now, it is possible that someone could have changed that gear, but being how original this car was, and usually when they change the gear, they never put the tag back on, so I'm gonna bet it's a 323. Oh man, these original type radiators are super heavy. Bolt is ruining my scene. Bolty, you're ruining my scene. As I was saying, these original type radiators are super heavy, but it's free. It was sitting in the backyard, so I'm going to use it. And this is going to be good enough radiator to cool the engine that it's in front of. You know, the probably 250 horsepower, 130,000 mile clapped out engine. Yes, we're going to leave this radiator in here to achieve the first pass. And then probably put a nicer aluminum one in it later for speed and lightness. It'll fit now. Apparently someone had Dukes of Hazzard the thing and bent up the core support a little bit. There. Finessed ever so gently. Now it will bolt in. Every once in a while there is a good Taiwanese part. I think I have discovered one. This is an upper radiator hose filter. It's going to go in line with your upper radiator hose. You have to trim your upper hose to fit it in, but this is mucho gooder. This is to stop all the crap from coming out of your block and clogging your radiator. So yes, on an engine like this is probably going to have to be pulled and cleaned like 5, 6, 7 times before we can really drive it. But think about it. We're saving the radiator and just having to take this apart and clean it out. This is 50 bucks. Now the ones I were buying before were $75 and they were on jegs, but I like this one better because it has a larger diameter hole, which is 1 inch. So more coolant can flow through this, and might even be able to use it in the summertime when these were not really suggested in the summertime because the orifice was so small. So I'm actually looking forward to trying this guy out. Amazon, $45. Actually, yeah, it was $45. Amazon, saved $5. This should be mucho gooder. See, it is actually New Year's evening right now, and Bolt doesn't like fireworks. So everybody that is setting off a firework right now, he is letting them know he is having no part of it. So I just marked what I need to cut out. Let's go ahead and cut it out and get this guy slapped in place. Years. Great investment. Now the reason you want the coolant to flow in the direction that the arrow tells you is you want to be able to clean the outside of the element, not try and blow it out from the inside. So always make sure you put it on in the direction that all the particles of crap will get stuck to the outside of the filter, not the inside. It's starting to sprinkle again. It's like the forces know this car is going to come back to life. We'll see if it'll even hold water first. Ugh, hell, we may end up having to race this thing in the rain. You're probably going to hear a whole lot of popping and banging and sounds like gunshots, but it won't be coming from this car. It is New Year's Eve, so there's going to be a lot of fireworks going off soon. I just want to hear the fireworks coming out of this motor. Alright, we know it's a running motor. Let's just hear it run again and run for a little while. We want to get all the coolant circulated and try and trap some of the stuff out of the block. Plus, maybe I can set the timing perfectly and set the carburetor perfectly with it at temperature. There is no thermostat, however, though. I want to get all the chunks out of it. I don't want the thermostat to stop anything. Here we go. That was way too easy. That was way too easy. I think I got some rust in my eye. It's only been running for like 30 seconds. And the filter's already starting to fill up with shit. Rusty shit. It's humid. It's not that cold. All right. This thing is just like starting to get smoothed out. Oh wait, why did you shut off all of a sudden? That was like a weird. That was weird. That was like the ignition switch just shut off. I'm like a choo-choo train. Huh. Are we... Did something just take a crap on us? It helps when you tighten the wires on the coil all the way. Typically helps. Man, this thing's just like so smooth. This is officially the longest this engine has ever run since I've owned it. I wonder if we turn the ignition on, the water temp and oil pressure gauges work. Oh shit, the alternator is charging. It is actually working. Do we actually have oil pressure too? It's not very high, but it's oil pressure. I will take it. We have charging system, oil pressure. We'll see if the water temp works here shortly. like steaming itself back to life. Come on, buddy, steam yourself up, because soon you're going to be racing. Oh, the oil pressure actually went up as the engine's warming up. Maybe the gauge is just starting to come back to life because it hasn't run in forever. Oh, the temp gauge is actually working. We got the alternator still charging. Our oil pressure is still great. And the engine still sounds like race car. Oh shit, failure. Wait. Wait, why is it still running? Oh shit, that's right. Well, now it's raining hot, rusty water. I had to get overexcited with my revvings. The engine's talking bad to me. I mean, that's one way to flush the cooling system. Dang it. In all my excitement of revving and race car, I bet that upper radiator hose was clogging up and just poof, because it blew off the pre-filter side. Getting a little too rambunctious. I'm just all excited. Yeah, this thing is completely clogged. Makes sense now. Oh, man. Wow. It was so clogged, it imploded the screen. Wow. Put it all back together and fire it back up. So then I can get back to revvings. This thing's about to start running like ass on purpose. I'm gonna pour about half a bottle of seafoam in 1 gallon of gas. That way it'll clean out all the carbon, hopefully, in this engine. Or at least help. All right, well, we still have some good fuel in the carburetor. We'll get it fired up. Probably a bunch of water went down the carburetor. There it goes. Yeah, probably in about 30 seconds, this thing's gonna start smoking like crazy. Oh, wait. I gotta put water in it, too. Okay, round 3. Wow. That thing's just filling up instantly. That thing's gonna have to be cleaned out bunches. Five, 30 seconds later, it's already completely clogged. Look, very little pressure, lots of pressure. It's all stuck in there. But it's a good thing. But this thing sounds great. Look how snappy it is. Look, and look, it's not even smoking yet. Nothing coming out the breather. Nothing. This engine's in great shape. Okay, so maybe the Amazon upper radiator hose filter is not that great. The screen inside is so thin, it's like not as strong, or it's just a weaker material. And it completely well, you probably can't see it, but it completely blew open the filter. There was so much back pressure, the filter imploded on itself, and now there is no filter. Yep, just as I thought. It completely imploded the screen, entirely filled it up. That's how much crap is flowing through here. And that's how weak this filter is. So I'll probably end up going back to the Jegs one because this one fails. Number 4. Little squirty. That inner screen is entirely clogged again. 30 seconds. This is going to be a long process. All right, I think this will be the last one for tonight. I think this is 7. Dirty. And this is running right now with heavily diluted seafoam. So it's blowing all the carbon out of the car. Look at that. That is all fresh carbon on the ground. I had done swept this up already. Wow. Okay, you know what? I think we'll just run it out of gas on this one. Yeah. Go ahead and finish it off. If it still runs on that, I'll be really surprised. But it's cleaning itself up. Watch, we pull the spark plugs out, they're gonna be all like sparkly clean. Oh, you can really start to smell the seafoam now. It's really starting to smoke under the car, you know. Yes, clean yourself, cleanse yourself of 2025. It's going to be fast in 2026. Might as well run the transmission through its gears too. Ah, reverse. First, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is gonna be great. And take a chill pill. We will let it cool for the night and get back to it in the morning. You know, I'm actually becoming pretty proud of this old 71. It's just coming back to life and just wants to be alive. Cars don't want to be dead. And since it's been doing so well, I actually bought it a present. Happy New Year, 71 Charger. You're going to get an oil change. Probably hasn't had one since the mid-90s. You're welcome. Nothing shiny or metal or chunky. That's a good sign. Well, with that engine honey that I put in this thing, it's probably going to take a while to drain. So I think maybe I'll go poop. All right, as my 2-year-old would say, all done. Engine's going to be much happier with some fresh VR1 in here. Blub, 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 blub. Man, the alternator actually works really good. I'll take it. This engine might actually be in pretty good shape. We gained a lot of oil pressure just by changing the oil. Yesterday it was in the middle at idle. Now we're almost 3/4 of the way. And if you're wondering what I set the timing at, well, the idle is at about 21 and then the max is at 35. So this thing's going to be perfect. And the centrifugal advance comes in probably at like 15, 1600, like really low. The springs are probably broke or weak, but it's perfect. So I think we've pretty much got most of the big stuff, so we might even end up just pulling that screen out and then just using the big screen to stop the big chunks. Never mind. We're gonna keep using that screen until we stop getting all these little pebbles of rust out of the block. Well, now that we've run this thing several times and it's had radiator flush in it, I even threw half a bottle of rust crudder in it, so, or rust crud, whatever you want to call it. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just crack the hose loose on this thing. Making a mess, but it was already all wet out here anyway from the rain. Flush. Flush. Well, I've got the old electric fan setup I pulled off of Smurf, which is my 69 RT tunnel ram car. If you go back and watch the episode, if you haven't seen it, you'll see why I pulled these off. Not that they don't work, it's just when you have a big motor like that and it's 120 degrees, you need more. So, but this will work good enough to keep our 383 down cool, like Fonzie. I just gotta remember how all this crap went. Ugh, that's why it's so much uglier than just mechanical stuff. Just trying to use a lot of the wiring that was already on this. Make it simple and quick. Because this probably isn't what's going to stay on here. That officially is done. We have electric fans. And, you know, I'm not proud of the wiring, but it's functional. Because it's not permanent. This is just to go get our base pass. Because then when we make it more good or faster, later, it might be a little different. But look, I have it tied into the running lights. Fan off. Fan on, fan off, fan on. So that will at least help in keeping it cool, also so we can burn the sea foam out of the gas that's in here already, because there's still like, a couple quarts in there that I would like to burn out before we really start trying to shred tire. And then, speaking of tire, we need to get some wheels and tires on this thing that we can trust above 25 miles an hour. Oh yeah, on other news, I actually have a functional starter relay now. Now, when my key ignition shows up, then we can start it without trying to look like we're stealing it. Because imagine if the cop showed up and we're trying to start this thing with our screwdriver and there's no lock cylinder. We would have to talk our way out of it because it won't be registered and it won't be insured. Come on. It just runs good. Nice and snappy. Not half bad. Not to sound like a broken record, but the more this thing runs, just the more alive it becomes. Like absolutely zero blow by now. Nothing. This thing is just ready for power to make speed. I mean, look how good this thing is running. 130,000 miles. Check it out. That is pretty good, especially for a flat tappet original cam. And you know these cylinder walls are not the greatest, but overall, I'm like super happy with this thing. Sunlight, morning. Wait, sunlight is good because it's been like cloudy and rainy and cold the last couple days. And I'm back on the 71 Charger. Only cleaning out the upper radiator hose filter for like the 12th time probably. So you can see it just keeps imploding, the element does. But look at all the crap that is in that thing. I think I'm going to drill a couple extra holes for more flowage and more filtering surface area to try and make it to where this lasts longer than 1 minute at a time. Need to get all that heavily saturated seafoam gas out of this thing. Let it run for a while. Oh yeah, got the trailer rims on this thing. Chrome ones, in fact. Gonna bling up this car a little bit from the rusty, crusty Magnum 500s that was on it. And on top of that, we got it wrapped in some old Hoosier semi-slicks. Yep, these are circle track tires, so they're not as sticky or as gooey as like the drag racing stuff. These require a little bit of heat to soften them up. And but you know what? Seeing as how this thing is probably only going to have like 250 horsepower at the crank, this is good enough. I didn't feel like going out and buying wheels and tires or even tires. I also, for the front, we are going to have Magnum 500s on it, but these ones have a little bit more bling to them. These tires, in fact, are the tires that were on the Roadkill Rally Duster. You can tell because it's like almost bald on this side, like brand new tread on that side, and you can see the tire has been extremely scuffed. Freiberger and Finnegan had the Roadkill Rally Duster terribly towed in, like 2 inches, and then they told me to race it like that. So they screwed me when I was trying to compete against Finnegan. But we're gonna put those wheels and tires on this car. I'm not really worried about that. I've raced on these tires like that because I'm a cheap ass. We have our new lock cylinder, ignition lock cylinder. So we can go ahead and slap this guy back in. Aha! We have, that was almost cool there. I forgot to hook up the battery. Try that again. Dang it, just ruining my moments. We'll try it in neutral. Ah, there we go. Okay. So it's not going all the way into park, I guess. We got 1, 2, 3. I shouldn't be having to pull it back. 1. Okay. Adjustments required. See if I'll be cool this time. 1, 2, 3, park. Haha! I was cool that time, wasn't I? Damn it. One thing I forgot about fixing your ignition. Stupid key buzzer. I just want to leave the freaking key in it. That oil is ungood. I think we need to put a new valve cover gasket on the driver's side. Since we put a new one on the passenger side, and the driver's side is smoking like crazy when you rev it up for a period of time, it's probably wise to go ahead and replace it before we need rain and it's not there to put the fire out. I was almost at the point of putting a master cylinder on this thing, but I gave the brake pedal one last hard push and it felt like something moved. So, and then I went over and felt the front wheel, and it had resistance against it. So I'm gonna say that maybe the calipers were stuck and they just freed up. I want to get it on the ground and find out if we actually have brakes, because I don't plan on keeping the stock type brakes on this car, so I don't want to buy a bunch of stock type brake stuff. So fix this oil leak, get her on the ground. We can go for a test drive around the block in this thing. Yeah, I guess the gasket had broken apart when I put it back on. Didn't even notice it. That's why it was leaking so bad. But we'll go ahead and fix that right now. That's one nice thing about patina cars. Everything on the car is considered an active workbench. So you don't even need to clear your bench off that is littered with tools that you just got done working with. All right, now we have less of a fire hazard as we contain all of the oil that I just put in this thing. There we go. Perfect. Steering works. Awesome. I didn't know if that was actually going to work or not. Ooh. Oh man, that is not very good brakes. I don't that is not good brakes at all. I'm really eager. Let's go take this thing around the block. All that work into it, reviving it, forcing this thing back to life. Let's go drive it. Reviving my favorite old muscle cars is just the most fun you can have. Now, did we restore this? No, but we did bring it back from the dead, and getting to drive it for the first time since it's been dead is almost like me getting to drive this car when it was new in a much decapitated version. But this is the generation of car that I wish I could have grown up with, the late 60s muscle cars. Now, second gens are my favorite. I'm growing to love these third gens though, but I don't know, I just love driving these old cars. And when you got classic rock playing and you're cruising down the highway and just drive one of these things, arm out the window, if you had any troubles in your life, it's just gone. Now, when I was trying to revive this thing, I was getting frustrated. But now that it runs and drives and mediocrely stops, all my troubles are gone. I'm gonna go drive this thing. Didn't even pump the throttle, just fires right up. This thing is like good. First gear, engage. Oh, it is dark now, or it's just about dark. Oh, wait. No. Did my radio quit working? I do have a blown out exhaust system that makes it sound somewhat muscly to listen to. This is just a test drive to feel the car out so we can go drive it at the street spot. Oh yeah, the trunk lid's not closed. Dude, so far this thing just drives good. There's my third gear. It's a little slow on the shifting when you're not wide open throttle. I would say the alignment is not that good, or it could be these crappy tires. I'm gonna say the alignment is really bad too though. The steering wheel is like 1/8 of a turn off. Dude, it actually had some pickup to it. We might have ourselves a, oh, exhaust is really starting to get in the cab now. We might have ourselves a 15-second car now. Not bad. Like, no stumbling, no hesitation, just like boogied. Dude, this thing's actually not, well, I want to say it's not bad, but it kind of feels like a wagon. These circle track tires are not exactly round. These front tires are cambered out like a mofo. They are, so it is not that great. This thing at 100 miles an hour is probably going to be a handful. Did we get some tire scratch? I just want a quick burst. Windshield with all the writing on it does not make me stand out at all. Come on, green light, 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 green light. Yes. Now just drive back home. I don't know how you cannot get attached to cars. They're just cool. Well, tomorrow is race day for this thing. We got to see what the baseline is on a 130,000 mile clapped out 71 Charger. What is it going to do in the quarter mile? The Draggy Pro out on the street. I'm really curious. Now that I've driven it, actually, I think it's going to go faster than what I thought. It actually is kind of peppy.
Huh? The radio still works. I just couldn't hear it over my race car exhaust. Oh, time to go racing tomorrow. Load all this crap up.
All right, guys, it's the next day. We are out at the spot. We're gonna see what kind of speed and acceleration we can get out of this towing impound yard find that we got running and driving. And I brought my buddy. This is Brick. He's got, I didn't even expect, that was almost like it was planned. So he actually owns and operates Dan's driveline. Maybe I can sucker him into making me a drive shaft for this later.
We haven't supplied nothing for this one yet.
No, it might need one after this. It's the drive shaft. I'm sure nothing on this car is of caliber yet. Have you seen under the hood of this thing?
I have.
It is quite windage in the car. If you notice, there's plenty of airflow top end. So you're a land speed guy. You're a top ratio guy. Do you think this roof here is going to impede my top speed?
You may have issue with laminar flow. It may become detached and turbulent here. And but at the speed you're going to go, I don't know that it matters.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, you know, we might be able to just pop that up.
No, you
I don't want to interfere with my speed.
You need a raw baseline though.
A raw baseline, so then we can pop it up and go faster.
And we'll see if your ET may stay the same, but your
we might even gain some miles per hours. So there's actually a crowd of people out here right now. We're gonna try and not interfere with their grudge racing, but they have
cars that go fast versus
they actually invited me, like, hey, do you want to do some grudge racing? And I'm like, yeah, you have to give me like 20 lengths, dude. But we're gonna get this thing unloaded and get it ready for some racing and some kind of speed. I'm really curious, what will this 383, I hate using the term barn find, but barn find Charger stock. Even I put the stock carburetor on it, stock air cleaner, everything. This is, now, there is one speed mod, 2 speed mods. We no longer have a fan, and we have a little bit less weight from pulley reductions. We have less pulleys. So, but other than that, there is no speed gains on this thing, and it has a 323 open, so there will be no wheelies. The front tires will unfortunately stay on the ground on this one. Just listen to all this horsepowers. Fair warning, you may have to readjust your clocks after we launch this thing. I guess I don't have a seatbelt over here. That's weird. Am I sitting on it? Will this reach? Come on. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, that ain't gonna work. All right. I guess we don't have any seatbelts. Put my eye protection on because I don't want to get rust or rat poop in my eyes. Here we go.
started running out of fuel.
Oh.
Piece of shit. Alright, we need to figure out why it's cutting out. That is ungood. Alright, first pass, failure. Running out of fuel. Ungood. And I actually started yanking on, or did you lift?
I didn't lift.
Oh, so I was pulling on you?
My first pass as cameraman, I got you framed up.
Sweet. But we got to figure out why it's running out of fuel. I think it's like when the secondaries are opening. Wow, it's like every truck in town showing up. All right, we got to figure out this fuel issue. Maybe the fuel pump that's on this thing just can't keep up with all the horsepowers it's making. I mean, did you see me just leave Brick in the dust laughing at him?
My truck is stock.
Well, so is my car.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull the fuel line off. I'm gonna have Brick crank it or fire it up so we can actually see how much fuel is really spraying out of this thing. It felt like it just ran out of fuel, and it actually started to die until the bowls filled up again. So find out.
I don't shouldn't overheat. Okay, ready?
Yeah, go ahead, fire it up. Okay, shut it off. So there's plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel. It literally just felt like it was running out of gas, but why? We'll recheck the floats. Maybe shit, I don't know. Now I seriously doubt this is the issue, but my custom racing fuel cell doesn't have a vent, but I left the cap on it loose. But if this somehow is actually sealing, then maybe that is hindering our fuel flow. So I'm gonna poke a tiny little hole in it to get some ventilation on here. All right, that should be flow, airflow. See, I don't think that was the problem, but yeah, as soon as it got like about half track, it just
I didn't think we were at a quarter, so.
yeah. So in all reality, Brick actually won.
That's right, you ran out
By
of fuel.
technical difficulty. All right, well, we'll try it without the air cleaner, weight reduction.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe the rust that falls down the engine will bring more cylinder life.
What's the octane rating of rust?
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe it's a knocking neutralizer. It has grown quite a bit since we've been here, over there and over there. So we're gonna go the other direction to not interfere with the faster guys. They're just lucky I don't have all the fuel flow right now. You know what? I'm gonna grudge match that truck again. All right, put a little heat in the tires. Aggravating. I don't know if this is gonna be something we're gonna be able to fix here. It's just running out of fuel. It's almost like there's no fuel going to the second. No, because then even when I come off the throttle, it's out of fuel. So I don't know. I'm gonna raise the floats a quarter turn. You know what? Half turn. We're gonna raise the floats a half turn just see if we can't get some flow out of this thing. It was pumping a crap load of fuel. I don't know if maybe the stock fuel pump doesn't have the spring pressure to support the RPM. And so it's just, maybe this factory fuel pump's floating. I don't know. We'll try it one more time. If this doesn't work, we're gonna have to put a racing pump on a stock freaking engine. Go. obviously, this isn't something we're gonna fix here. Very disappointing. Plus, we need to come back out here when it's a little quieter. So we're gonna have to put a fuel pump on this thing. Maybe the cam is, it could be that the lobe on the cam that drives the fuel pump is so worn that there's just no lobe no more and there's not a whole lot of push rod action. I should have checked that. Ah, so disappointing. But we're gonna fix it. Nope, nothing wrong with the camshaft. Fuel pump rod's moving up and down just fine. About what feels like a 1/4 inch of throw. And it might not even be that much factory, but it's got plenty of throw. Now, there's nothing wrong with our fuel pump rod either. The push rod is not shortened. I just measured it. It is factory length, and you can tell nothing is worn on that. So, it's not carburetor because it runs perfect until it runs out of fuel. It has to just be this fuel pump. I'm gonna put another fuel pump on it and try it again. I think this fuel pump just cannot keep up with the RPMs of 4,000. All right, so I have another fuel pump that is identical in appearance. The only thing I can tell is that the fuel pump I pulled off the engine takes less spring rate, or takes less pressure by hand to push in versus the new one. About 50 pounds is about halfway through the motion. The new one, 56, 57 pounds, so not huge. One thing I can tell with this one, it seems like the spring rate gets stronger as you compress it, which it should. The old one, yeah, it doesn't feel right. It's like it spring rate, and then noses over. It's like once it gets past the halfway point, it's like it noses over. Okay, I think we have fixed it. I believe the pump that was on the engine was just inadequate, improperly made, not the right spring pressure, or probably not even the right spring angle on the rocker on the fuel pump, because as you would compress it, halfway through its stroke, it would start to lose pressure, like nose over. The new one we just put on, it's linear. The more you push it, the stronger the spring rate gets, which is what it should be doing. So we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up and make sure there's no leaks and everything, and be good for tomorrow in racing. How smooth and quiet it runs. Well, I don't see any leaks. I believe we are all good. Just prepping for tomorrow. I've lost track of how many times I've had to clean this upper filter out. Look at all that crap. All of that would have just clogged in the radiator. This had to have been like number 13, cleaning this out. I am back at the test spot. We got our 71 to 383 charger here. Hopefully the fuel issue is resolved and we can finally get our baseline time. Please do the full 1/4 mile under power. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing unloaded and get to laying down some times. And we have a tailwind today, so that means more speed. I am smarter this time. I have a seat belt, and I have used ratchet straps to hold myself in a car before. So, safety first. overheating the one tire. Yeah, like a top fuel car. Here we go. Come on, baby. Let's go! I do not know. Whatever it is really annoying. Like the float is down. I should be able to blow through that. If the float is down, maybe we got an issue with our heated seat. Now, once you push the float up, like, it's like the needle sticks up. Huh. That is weird. Maybe we'll try switching needles, since this will probably see more pressure than this one will because of the smaller tube. We'll try switching needles to see if that does anything. You can push that off there. I already switched needle and seat. Let's go ahead and check the floats. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I just want a quarter-mile pass. Is that too much to ask? Tell you what, 3-3's got a lot of torque. Geniusness! Well, if I was genius, I would have figured it out the first time. We ran a 1641. Not great. We're gonna go back and try that again. We've got to get a 15. 15, 15, 15. Come on, man. It worked! But we're really slow. I forgot to turn the damn fans on, so we're gonna let this thing cool off and try it again. I know we can get some more speed out of this thing. I forgot to turn the fan on. Dumbass. I didn't do a burnout that second time. I should have. it spun really bad, killing our ET time. This might have been like a 1599. I know there's people that are like, in an enclosed system, pressure is the same on either end. But if there's resistance going to the back, maybe it just wasn't hitting that needle and seat hard enough to, like, I don't know. I know flipping the needle and seats worked, so I'm Mr. Fix-It. Okay. Lessons learned. Didn't really learn anything about the needle and seat. That's just weird. Although I think my theory about resistance to the back has some truth to it. We took the air cleaner off to try and free up some horsepowers. We have to do a burnout even with our measly power that we have. This 3-3 just makes lots of torque. So we lost a lot of ET with wheel spin. It was spinning for a while. I could actually feel when it stopped. So that was killing our quarter-mile time. So we need to improve. We have bunches to improve on. Also, we are losing brakes. I don't know if I'm even going to have enough brake to do a burnout. We will find out. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, 15. That's a little better. Go, buddy, go! Come on! Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, we got 16.00. We can do better than that. We gotta get that 15. Come on, man. Shit. Oh! Tire pressure. We didn't even set tire pressure. We gotta do that. That is gonna get us our 15. Tire pressure. Yeah, that would probably explain why it spun real bad. It's got over 30 pounds of pressure in it. Dumbass. Safety first. Okay. Come on, 15. If we can get out of the hole, we've got a 15. It's been spinning. You know what? I'm gonna go to this other lane. Hey, I'm gonna go to the other lane. There's a bunch of pebbles on the side. Come on, baby. We want a good 15-second pass. Give me a 1570. I would love it. Okay, here we go. Let the middle better. Go, baby, go! Should have put the slicks on this thing because it gets really wonky and has no grip. But yes, we got our 1591. But we're starting to get a little warm now. I think we're just gonna go ahead and load this thing up and head home, but we at least got our 15-second baseline. Ah, that buzzer is still so annoying. But did you see all the rust that we had knocked loose from racing this thing? Shut up. Well, the car is in fact safe and sound at home, still running as you saw, still has all the oil pressures and everything that it left here with. Shocker, I know. And I was thinking, you know, how much more could we have gained while we were out there? So I had pulled a plug, and it's mint. I mean, it's a stock carburetor tuned to a stock engine. So the mixture ratio, it's like perfect. Now, I could have taken a couple degrees of timing out of it. I kind of highlighted the heat mark, the timing mark, with a Sharpie so you can see it. So I could have taken, 2 degrees out of it, but it wouldn't have gone any faster. I mean, it's borderline too much timing. And you can see it had started blowing some carbon off of the pistons, because I mean, how long has it been since this thing had gone wide open throttle and stretched its legs? One of the first plugs I pulled out of this thing, I would say probably since the 80s. Well, our best time was a 1591, and there is a lot to gain on that. Even if I left the engine alone, if we just put a sure grip in this thing with slicks, we're probably going to be mid 15s. So that alone would gain us some time. But of course, there's really nothing to brag about. Oh man, I ran a 15.5 with slicks. Everybody else would be laughing at you. So we definitely need to grow in the power department under the hood, which we are going to do that in the next episode. So stay tuned for the wannabe. Yes, the wannabe Super Bee. This should have been a Super Bee, but they went one check mark lower and got the 500, which I still think is cool because it has the RT taillights. The 500s and the RTs are the only ones that have those taillights, unless you had a painted bumper Super Bee, which I had to learn this. Some Super Bees did have the RT taillights, but you would have had to order it with painted bumpers. That's probably super uncommon. Now, this was a budget car. I bought this car for $2,000. Now, it was a clapped out hunk of shit. It kind of still is a clapped out hunk of shit, but it's a running, driving hunk of shit that I can have fun with. And I hope you guys are having fun watching me have fun with it, because it's fun for me. So hopefully it's fun for you. It's a big circle type thing. We are going to throw some speed parts at it. So stick around for part 3. You never know how much faster it's going to go. I'm kind of curious too. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe and all that happy jazz. I've got other things I've got to tend to. All right, night night wannabe. Next time this hood opens, it's going to be for speed.